Introducing the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat. Do you have a question from any of the following areas? Land survey, valuation, building survey, land administration, engineering survey, estate agency, property management, and geospatial information management. Join the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat every Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Good afternoon. My name is Eunice Macharia. I'm the current chairperson of the Estate Agents Registration Board. I'm a registered follower and I'm a registered estate agent and also a full member of the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya. I run a private consultancy firm in real estate and valuation.
Now, thank you, Eunice. Maybe you tell us how has COVID-19 affected real estate business?
Yeah, thank you for that question. COVID-19 has had adverse and extensive effects on the real estate industry. First, because of the measures that the government has taken to curb the spread of the COVID-19, starting with the restrictions of movements, which has also led to the closure of land registries in Kenya. Of course, we have had limited working hours, and we have had to work remotely from home, and all the health regulations that on safety and the travel restrictions that the government has put in place. All these have had adverse effects on the way real estate agents and the entire industry real estate works. The effects have been wide, like you've said. There's, of course, when you talk about restrictions of movements and closure of registries, most of our works like sales and lettings have been affected. The work on survey work has also been affected in that the surveyors and the agents are not able to freely move to their sites or to do their work. And it has also created liquidity issues because we have had our tenants closing offices and they are not able to pay rent, and some of the businesses have had to close, and that effect of our tenants not having money, both residential and commercial tenants who are not able to meet their rent demands. Of course, there's uncertainties in the industry. So whereas somebody say before COVID-19 was really safe to purchase a property, a lot of people now are quite hesitant into committing into financial commitments that require a lot of money, and real estate demands a lot of money, and especially when it comes to buying a property. So people have put their plans on shelf because of those uncertainties, and that of course have affected the especially sales of properties. And of course, like we are saying, we also rely on foreigners to take up space in our commercial spaces, and also to take up residentials, especially in the upmarket residential areas. And some of the foreigners have had to go back, they've been evacuated. Then some of the missions in the country have had to cut down on their operations, and that is affecting the uptake of the residential properties in the upmarket areas. So the entire real estate industry, starting from development of properties, some of the developments have been put on hold that were ongoing. Some of the contractors have not been able to come back and continue with those construction sites. The new developments have, most of those plans, I'm sure, have been put on hold and they have not been able to take off. So the effect on the real estate, start from development to letting, to sales, to taking up of commercial space, have really been affected. Letting and management, which is a preserve of most of our members in the real estate agents. We are talking again about the tenants in a way to pay. Some of them have come to ask for rent waivers, rent holidays. They have asked for flexibility in paying rent, and that of course has reduced the income to the agent, the income to the landlord, and our commissions, of course, have also been affected. We are talking about some tenants also asking for reduced rental space because they are no longer able to support, their businesses are not able to support paying rent for the entire office space. And of course, because of different now some people working from home, some of them actually now don't require the space that they had before. So we are facing space reductions, vacant office spaces, office closures, and where you have, for example, restaurants, hotels, who are your tenants, or commercial or companies that are running educational businesses like colleges. Those had to close, and of course then we have that effect of cash flows and inability to meet their rent.
Thank you. So where do you see the industry post COVID-19?
Post COVID-19 is still uncertain in many areas because we really haven't been able to take full stock of the effects of COVID-19, and some of those effects are still ongoing. But going forward, we see a situation where there might be a reduction in the demand for office spaces. We have, of course, learned now that we can work from home. So some businesses might actually say, why don't we then, just work from home or stagger our office hours, and that creates a reduction in the demand of office space. Rentals are likely to come down because when you have reduced demand on especially commercial premises, then you have a situation where the rents automatically comes down. So we, as a real estate industry, we have to rethink the way of doing things. We have to embrace technology as a way of doing things, because now you right from the place of engaging with your clients, with your tenants, with your landlords, the entire process can be automated. You really don't have to have physical meetings, and especially as Africans, we like, we like to meet, we like to talk, we like when the person is there as in person. But I think we have to adopt a new way of doing things and really embrace technology going forward. You can do your property shows, you can do your advertisement online, you can do your virtual tours online, where the buyers and the tenants are you are able to take them through the property online without physically having to meet them. The entire process of contracting can be done online. The entire process of handovers can be done online. You don't have to go into a building to do inspections. You can do inspections, through use of technology. And I think as real estate practitioners, I think it's a way that it's something that we really have to embrace. We are also looking at a way maybe we have to adopt a flexible way of engagement, maybe the leases where you don't have to, have 5 years, 6 years, and you don't have to take up the whole space for the entire period. You can. The idea of sharing offices might become very prominent, where I come in and use the space on need basis. I don't have to take it up for a long duration and have a commitment for long durations. We're also looking at maybe in terms of design. We have learned now that we can work from home and live at home and do everything from home. So we have to make the home conducive for business. So maybe looking forward, we have to provide the necessary infrastructure at home to be able to actually work from home. The idea of mixed-use development, I think, now comes in very handy, because then you can work, you can live, you can play within the same kind of environment. Yeah, you don't have to go far to. For example, I'm looking at where you have an apartment block that also provides maybe an office space where you can actually go in and work and then go back to your house for lunch and maybe go back to your house in the evening. You don't have to go far. You can have mixed-use developments that I think that is really going to take traction going into the future.
Okay.
So we are looking at real estate industry adapting to a new way of doing things and rethinking the entire process of engagement with our clientele and how we do business going into the future. And I think it both present challenges and also new opportunities, going into the future.
Okay, maybe what advice can you give someone who is interested in real estate at the moment in terms of investment, business?
I would say real estate, in as far as we have people around, we are always going to need space. Whether it is space to work from or whether it is space to live in, we are always going to require space. So the industry is going to be there, and there are opportunities that are going to be born out of this crisis. And I would say going into the future, it is going to be more automated than manual. Every process of it, including rent collections, we have to think of a way of having the entire process automated. So there is a future, and a big future in real estate, only we cannot continue doing this the way we have been doing them. We have to adopt new ways of looking at the industry.
Now, maybe as an expert, how do you ensure Kenyans are protected from unscrupulous agents out there?
The Estate Agents Registration Board, which is formed under Cap 533 of the laws of Kenya, is supposed to protect you from unscrupulous agents. Because our law, duty and work is to make sure that is to register estate agents. And when an estate agent is registered with us, and when you engage an agent who is registered with us, then you are protected. In that, if you have any issue or any problem with that estate agent, you can always come back to the board, and the board will be able to mitigate any issues or any problem that you have with that estate agent. When you engage one that is not registered in the board, it creates a challenge for us, because this person is not under our umbrella. We are not able to discipline people who are not our members. So for us to be able to protect the public, we are in the process of registering more and more estate agents, but I'll urge the public to only engage with those who are registered.
Okay. Now, thank you guys. I think you have just heard from the horse's mouth. Now, tunaendelea tu vizuri, but one thing I wish to remind you about, do you have that question out there? Maybe you've been thinking about real estate agents or something that you really feel like we need to share right now. Now, what you do, just hapo chini kwa comment, andika tu comment yako vizuri, ama swali lako, ama ulize, and remember to share, like, and just give us a thumbs up. Sindio? Inakuwa inatupa motisha sana tena. Haya, kabla tuweze kurudia maswali yako kidogo, tutapata break kidogo for a commercial break, and then when we come back, Eunice here will start answering your questions. Thank you so much for those guys who had sent their questions through email. That is info@isk.or.ke. Ama wengine wakatutumia mashauri yao ama maswali yao kwa website www.isk.or.ke. Hapo chini, just go in there right now and give us your question, and Eunice right here will give you the answer. Usishangae, tuko hapa hadi tumalize mida ya saa 10 jamani, usende mbali, si ndio?
Introducing the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat. Do you have a question from any of the following areas? Land survey, valuation, building survey, land administration, engineering survey, estate agency, property management, and geospatial information management. Join the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat every Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Welcome back, guys. Now, maybe Eunice, what measures have you put in place as an agency to mitigate the situation of COVID-19 now?
Thank you for that question. There are various things that we have had to do to be able to mitigate, and I think ISK is an umbrella body for estate agents and other players in the industry like valuers and surveyors. also comes in very strongly in being able to work together with us, the board, and also to advise their members on some of those measures. So some of the measures that we have done is as an agency for us is to listen to our tenants. For example, those who have asked for rent waivers, we have had to engage with them on a one-to-one basis and see, because there are some people who really they can't pay because they are not able to pay. But for example, someone has closed their business. What do you do with them? So in some of those areas, we have allowed them to extend the payment period. You understand, like in a lease, you tell a tenant you have to pay by the 7th or by the 5th or by the 14th, certain date. But since the money is not coming like you used to do before, we're asking them now, you can pay in small bits as long as your rent is paid up by the end of the month. So you give them that flexibility. We are also saying if you have come to us and you're asking for us to reduce your space, we engage in that conversation and see how can we help? How can we help you? Where that a tenant is saying that they need they have been paying, say, quarterly rent in advance. They're saying we are not able to reach the quarterly payment, but we can pay monthly installments instead. Then we have an agreement. The only thing is that because they have a contract, then you have to have a written agreement with them and all those changes. So you're able to accommodate the various requests that are coming from our clients and from our public. We're also advising the property owners because the banks are open. If you have a loan with the bank and the cash flow now is not coming as it was expected, you can go back to the bank and negotiate your loan terms with the bank. And in some cases, they have been given a moratorium. The bank will allow you to pay the interest for, let's say, for 3 months, and you don't have to pay the principal, or they extend your loan term so that you pay for longer, so they are able to give you some relief during this time. So these are the immediate. Of course, then we have to comply with the health regulations. We have to provide water in our buildings. We have to provide sanitizers in the buildings that we manage. We have to provide masks and other personal protective gears for our staff and our customers when they come to our space. And of course, where it is not necessary to visit a property to reduce the exposure, we have asked our members to stay away and adopt other ways and means of doing inspections where it is possible to do that. So that we also reduce the interaction between our members and their clients and whatever. So we, as a board, we have advised our members. As a company, we have also, having had to deal with our clientele in those ways.
Now, maybe from your point of view, there are some innocent Kenyans who have fallen into different real estate projects, investment projects, and at the end of the day, they find out that this was just a sham. So, perhaps, what advice can you give them?
I would say Kenyans, first of all, we are very trusting, and it's easy to gain our trust even in projects where it's a sham. And I would always say engage the correct professionals, engage the right people. Don't rush into a deal just because it looks very enticing. If you're going to buy a property, engage a real estate agent to do the due diligence for you. They'll be able to check the background of this property and be able to tell you this is a good deal or it's not a good deal. Engage a valuer to come and do for you evaluation. Engage a surveyor to come and certify that the land you're buying exists and it tallies with the maps and the other records that are with the government registries. Don't take it on the face value. Yeah, if it's a company and you're going to invest your millions in this project, why don't you take time to investigate the company? Yeah, you can go to the registrar of companies there. even your lawyer or your agent can be able to do that for you and do a due diligence on this company and tell you this is a good deal or it's not a good deal. So I would say use of professionals will help you, because as an ordinary Kenyan, you might not be able to know where the pitfalls are. But if you engage the correct professionals, they are going to be able to assist you. Yeah. So take your time, don't rush into deals. And like they say, when it is too good,
think twice.
Yeah, think twice about it.
Okay. Yes, thank you. What is the difference between short let and long let in Kenya?
Short leases and long leases. I would say the difference is a short lease, of course, is just that. It's for a shorter period of time. Mostly say between any time below 1 year. And if you're doing a short lease, you really don't have to go into to doing a lease. You can do a license for 1 year. That will just allow you, say, the use of a space for a period of 1 year. And that contract doesn't have to be registered. If you're doing a long lease for, say, 5 years or 6 years, that's a lease that needs to be registered on the title. And of course, it does not provide a break within that period. And then, of course, you have the agricultural leases that run for longer periods of time, like 5, 10 years, 20 years, sometimes even 30 years. So I would say that the difference, and also in the difference also comes in the kind of documentation that you need to do.
So someone here is asking, what is my role? Rather, at the end of my tenancy, what is my obligation as a tenant?
As a tenant, your obligations when you are exiting a lease, those obligations should be actually be placed in the contract that you currently hold. But some of the requests that will come at that time is, first of all, is reinstating the property into the condition that you found it in. You hand over as an agent. Maybe I give you a property when it's freshly painted. All the systems were working, the plumbing systems was working, the electrical systems were working, the doors, the windows, the handles, everything was in place. So when you're exiting that contract, then you'd be expected to restore the property in the same condition that you took it in. That would mean you'll have to paint or do repairs for anything that could have broken during that duration. And of course, you need to clear your any areas of rent that you have and make good your account.
What happens when some of the estate agents refuse to give back the deposits? I mean, how should I deal with it?
There should be no instance when a property agent or a landlord refuses to refund your deposit. And the instance that happens, then you can report that estate agent to us. You can report them to ISK. If they are members of the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya, you can report them there. If they are registered with the board, you can bring them to the board, and we will ensure that they do what they're supposed to do. In the event that you see it goes out, of course the courts are still available. You can also try other ways of alternate dispute resolution, arbitration. There are many ways and means that you can use to get back your money, but there should be no instance where.
And there's those instances where you just wake up, a landlord or the agent, or they just hike the rent without any added value at all. So what do you have to comment about that?
I would say, as a tenant, you need to guard yourself when you are entering into the contract. Because if you have agreed on a, say, 1 year contract, and the terms of the lease will be revisited at the end of the 1 year, the landlord might come to you with a demand for rent increase. Yeah. But if you had secured yourself in the contract, you could secure yourself in many ways. One of them is saying the lease will run for 2 years without an increment, or the lease will run for, after 1 year, the rent will be increased by a certain percentage. So it is very clear to both sides that this is the expectation when that time comes. But I can add, like now during COVID-19, post-COVID-19, even before COVID-19, we saw a trend where actually rents were coming down. Yeah. So it doesn't always have to go up. It can actually be negotiated downwards. And I've actually had an opportunity myself of facilitating such agreements, such discussions where the rents have actually been reduced for some of my clients.
Maybe anything that you can tell the viewer right now?
Tuseme COVID-19 imetuletea challenges zingine enyewe hatukuwa tuna expect. Yeah, it's a new thing. We have as players in the market, whether you are a receiver or a giver of a service in real estate, we have to adapt. We have to adapt to a new way of doing things. And since it's already here, we did not anticipate, it just came. So we have to study the market and see how do we align ourselves to make the best of the situation. In every challenge, there is always going to be opportunities. So what are the opportunities in COVID-19 and post-COVID-19? How do we learn to do things differently? Because I really don't think we ever go back to the way things were before. So we have to realize that this is our new normal and align ourselves a bit.
Okay. So thank you guys. I think you've just heard how things are happening on the ground. Wanasema kwamba sometimes vitu kwa ground ni different, lakini kwa sasa tumejaribu kukupambanulia na wekea bayana kile kitu ambacho unastahili kujua, hasa katika masuala ya kutafuta makazi. Kwa hivyo wewe lako ni kujaribu kwamba ikiwa una swali lolote usisite kusema nasi hapa ISK moja kwa moja, tutalitafutia swala lako majibu na kisha baadaye tutaweza kukupakulia. Kwa hivyo kwa sasa ndo tunaanza conversation yetu hapo chini. If you're pumping into this channel right now, just like, comment, and then let's create the interaction going. Till 4 we are here and tutakuwa tuna provide majibu yako kama utakavyotaka wewe. Kutoka hapa tunashukuru sana, asante. Until next time, same day, same time, every Friday from 2 to 4.
Introducing the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat. Do you have a question from any of the following areas? Land survey, valuation, building survey, land administration, engineering survey, estate agency, property management, and geospatial information management. Join the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat every Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.